You are about to pay new taxes on gold and silver if you live in this state, and it's under threat in several other states as well too, that more taxes are coming for your precious metals. Let's talk about it as we explore. I have received several comments of folks telling me about what's happening in the state of Washington with new taxation on gold and silver. I pay pretty close attention to what's going on in the news, and the sources that I have hadn't said anything about this, and I'm kind of surprised. I think I know why now, but nonetheless, there are competing organizations that promote sound money principles and actually lobby state legislatures in that regard, and also federal as well. But nonetheless, this is something that has come across the wires just recently, and Silver Dragons posted a video about it. I think the reason why he knew is because he lives in the state of Washington. But nonetheless, this is very important news, even if you don't live in Washington state. But let me just first tell you what's going on here, what's happening. But for now, here in the United States, if you live in a state that does have tax exemptions, well, take advantage of it. Most legitimate bullion dealers will definitely not collect taxes that they're not supposed to. Now, of course, when that first happened, when some of these legislative bodies started making these changes, it took a while. Summit Metals is a channel sponsor. Check them out. You won't pay taxes there, that's for sure, if your state has exemptions for taxation on gold and silver. And they have excellent customer service. A Gray Sheet is the one place that I've found, graysheet.com, that had a story about this from the National Coin and Bullion Association, which is one of those lobby groups. This decision has been finalized during the closing days of the 2025 legislative session. It is expected to have a wide-reaching impact on collectors, investors, and coin dealers throughout the state and beyond. The tax exemption repeal is part of the engrossed substitute Senate Bill 5794, a broader revenue package aimed at adopting recommendations from the 2024 tax preference review process, eliminating obsolete tax preferences, clarifying legislative intent, and addressing changes in constitutional law. The repeal is set to take effect on October 1st of this year. The National Coin and Bullion Association, which has championed the tax exemption since its inception, expressed deep disappointment at the decision. Despite months of grassroots efforts, testimony, and dialogue with lawmakers and the legislature moved forward with a repeal that threatens not only the vibrancy of Washington's numismatic and precious metals market, but also the economic competitiveness of the state, according to NCBA Executive Director David Crenshaw, and he's exactly right. And it's a shame. Washington had long stood among the growing list of states that recognize the unique value and investment stability of coins and precious metals by exempting them from sales taxes. This repeal positions the state as less favorable to coin and bullion buyers, who may now look to neighboring states with more supportive policies. And good luck to the dealers in that state, because they're going to be hit the hardest because it's their livelihood. The numismatic community should not be underestimated, said Dan Duncan, a longtime Washington coin dealer and NCBA board member. The sales tax exemption for precious metal bullion and monetized bullion supports local businesses, protects consumers, and promotes economic activity. This policy change ignores all of that. The repeal of the sales tax exemption comes amid a broader effort by Washington state lawmakers to address a significant budget shortfall. According to a nonpartisan auditors of the Joint Legislative Audit and Review Committee, during this session, the legislature repealed 20 tax exemptions where the public policy objective was not met, was unclear, or the exemption had become legally obsolete. The fiscal concerns may have driven some of the decisions. The elimination of the exemption for retail sales of precious metals bullion and monetized bullion disproportionately affects local dealers and investors, undermining an industry that brings jobs and economic activity to Washington. So they plan, the NCBA, to continue its advocacy work and is currently evaluating strategies for future legislative sessions. But really, they can only do so much. I think if you live in the state of Washington, you need to contact your legislators and tell them to repeal this, to take away this tax that's coming for gold and silver. And that is a big problem. Now, the NCBA, the National Coin and Bullion Association, has put out a press release about the threat that's coming to New York on precious metals tax exemption, as Senate Bill S-7875 introduced. Yes, so it could be coming back. Right now, New York has an exemption of $1,000 before you have under that you have to pay taxes, which I think is just ridiculous anyway. It punishes the lower income folks in New York and rewards people who spend $1,000. Of course, there's no reward. There never should be taxes on precious metals. And by the way, I'm going to be showing you a unique precious metal offering here that's behind this display. I can't move this right now because this coin right here is balancing carefully on that one. I'm showing these two coins, and I do that expressly because these are the designs that inspired the American Eagle bullion programs, obverses, and they used to circulate as money. These coins did, and because they are money and have been since the Constitution was enacted and first codified by the state of Delaware in 1787. In fact, in September the 17th is Constitution Day, and of course we've strayed so far from that, and government has gotten so big, not only federally, but some of these states have bloated budgets, and they are protected by the federal government. They get a lot of federal money, these states do. It's insane, so they can live beyond their means, and whenever they do have problems, well, they just go after you, the taxpayer. We are already being punished in many different ways with taxation, and in a hidden tax, the hidden tax of inflation. And so they're trying to scrape it up from anywhere they can find it. So on the heels of a major legislative victory, the National Coin and Bullion Association and its New York-based members successfully defeated a proposal to repeal New York's sales tax exemption for precious metals and bullion purchases over $1,000. This critical exemption, protected under Statute 1115, remains intact following the passage of Senate Bill S-3009, which enacts significant components of New York State fiscal plan for 2025 and 2026. The final version of the bill, signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul on May the 9th, did not include the proposed repeal provision. However, this victory may be short-lived. New York State Senator Andrew Gondardes has now introduced Senate Bill 7875, which seeks to significantly narrow the scope of the sales tax exemption for precious metals bullion. Rather than repealing the exemption entirely, the bill would limit its availability to transactions involving government entities and international institution buyers, effectively excluding individual investors and collectors from benefiting from the tax relief. That's just insane. It's not a loophole, it's a proven driver of economic growth. The exemption is an investment in New York, according to David Crenshaw, the executive director. Restricting access to this exemption would place New York at a significant competitive disadvantage, potentially driving businesses and investors to neighboring states and negatively impacting overall tax revenue. It's just insane what's going on. And some of these things, they have these expiration dates, much like the tax cuts of 2017, which the House of Representatives had just made permanent. But there should never be an expiration of a tax cut. It's insane, but that's how they do it. The Commonwealth of Virginia is another one that had an expiration date on taxes on precious metals for 2025, but that has just been extended not too terribly long ago to 2032. Still, there should not be, you shouldn't have to go to this again. There should be new legislation to enact taxes. But when they expire like this, It just makes it so that this stuff can fall under the radar, and then boom, you're being taxed again. It's crazy. I think more and more people are starting to buy precious metals, and they see it, and when you get these draconian taxes on it, much like Europe has with VAT, that's the value-added tax, it gets crazy. All right, so this is constitutional money right here. But, one good thing about the saving on taxes is some of the collectible bullion out there. And now I'm going to remove this display and show you a really cool piece that was sent to me for review by the good folks at Spectres. And this thing is pretty amazing. This is the Dragon Tiger Switchblade. And here's a certificate of authenticity. The power of a dragon and tiger in perfect balance. This thing is just remarkable. An amazing piece here. And this is numbered out of a limited issue of 888 pieces. This is the Dragon Tiger Switchblade. And it is just absolutely amazing. And you can get this over at Spectres. I'm going to post a link in the description below. And there's a special discount code, which I'm going to post there as well too. But here is the piece itself, and it's an amazing display, very, very well done by Spectres. This is just spectacular. This thing, I love that they have these capsules that just perfectly hug the piece itself, and this is one of those that is just absolutely amazing. It honors the balance of power that you see in Chinese philosophy, featuring the legendary dragon and tiger. The design captures the eternal interplay of the tiger grounded on rugged mountain terrains and the dragon soaring through the swirling clouds. Together they represent the cosmic harmony of earth, sky, stillness, and motion. And the reverse depicts the dragon and tiger in fierce symmetry, as you can see. Just amazing design, great detail. And this is a coin. It's separated by the yin-yang symbol to emphasize the equilibrium of opposing forces. And the design flips on the dynamic position of the dragon and tiger, with the tiger elevated and the dragon below, symbolizing their harmonious interplay. Now, this is issued by the nation of Samoa. It is 2 ounces and legal tender, and you can see there is the markings on it with the date and the nation there and the denomination. This is an actual coin, and I love these odd-shaped coins that the Spectres produces. Just absolutely amazing. This is a struck piece as well, with the design. It's not like some of those cast pieces where the design is just on one side. This shows, and of course it is a dagger, and it is dangerous, and you could actually hurt somebody with it, even though it doesn't have sharp edges. It has smooth edges here, but can you imagine if they would be reeded on the, on this side? But I think this is on the handle. This is a very, very well done piece. So there you have it. Right now, if you live in a state that has exemption on taxation, you can get this collectible piece here with a discount code, and you wouldn't have to pay taxes on it. Very, very nice indeed. Beautifully done. Highly rated as well. Spectres Mint, highly respected. Great, absolute stunning quality with what they do. So there you have it. Silver, gold, taxation, it's got to go away. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.